Shame is the heaviest thing you will ever carry on your weight loss journey. It slows your progress, it clouds your clarity, and worst of all, it disconnects you from your body. Today, in this video, we are going to be releasing the guilt, the comparison, and the never enough energy. Because true transformation can't happen from self-attack. It only ever happens through self-respect. So I want to begin today by discussing the fact that shame lives in the body. Even if your mind says, I've moved on, I've forgotten about it, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Your body remembers. Your body stores that energy. When we have a powerful emotion, if we don't deal with that, if we don't release that in the moment, it does become trapped within your body. Okay, if you've ever read the book Your Body Keeps the Score, you'll know how negative emotional situations trapped in your body manifest physically into all sorts of things that are not beneficial for your balance and your happiness and your health in your body. So, old comments that you've heard from people, moments that you felt judged, times that you didn't feel good enough in your own skin, all of that shame energy, it stores in your nervous system. And unless we actually clear it, it is just going to keep showing up as self-sabotage. Because it's still within you. This today is your invitation to feel it. To feel it and release it. Not because you're broken, not because you want to relive the past and ruminate on that and let it take over your life, but because you're ready to be free. So, another point that I want to touch on today. Comparison steals your power. And I spoke about this yesterday in the previous video where I spoke about the fact that everything you see on Instagram is very carefully curated. It's very carefully airbrushed and edited and filtered. And that is just perfect for the people, and I'm not talking about the influencers themselves, but the people out there in the world who want you to stay distracted, who want to have the control over you. Because if you're focusing on something that's stealing your attention and showing you that you're not worthy, then you're very easy to control and manipulate and coerce into doing whatever they want you to do. You're looking at someone else. You're looking probably on social media. You're looking at their abs. You're looking at their curves. You're looking at their glow. And you're basically thinking, A, it's real. It's not. I'm not saying it's all fake. But the poses, the filter, everything. Have you any clue how many pictures were taken to get that one image? Have you? You would be mind blown if you understood how many shots were taken just for that perfect picture. And if I was to take a side-by-side comparison on that picture from that person feeling relaxed, you would see yourself you would see two things. You would see a whole different person with a whole different figure, with a whole different persona, and you would also see a whole different glow. One of somebody is probably relaxed, enjoying themselves, being happy, enjoying the moment, not just actually waiting to pose for the photo for the 20,000th time, and they're missing out on the beautiful sunset behind them or whatever else. Ask anybody who works in that industry and they will tell you it is hard work. It is tiring. But when you see all of that and you think, oh my God, I'm never going to look like that, or I'm so far behind, I'm such a failure. That's what you think. I just tucked into Easter eggs for a couple of days and now I feel like a complete failure because that person wouldn't do that. That's not motivation. That is not motivation, beautiful. That is self-abandonment. In that moment, when you're comparing yourself, you're essentially giving your body the message, she's superior to you. You're not as good. You actually need to do more. You're not worthy right now. You're not worthy as you are. And do you know that actually it brings so much emotion up for me because it makes me feel so sad because I see a whole other generation of beautiful children, girls, growing up, probably feeling ridiculously inadequate. And when you're focusing on how inadequate you are, you're not developing yourself. You're not looking into your own power. You're not seeing how amazing you already are. You're not celebrating the gifts that you have. Our power lies within us, not within anything external that we can do. Your body has its own divine timeline. You're waking up now. That's why you're here. You're listening to this series because you're realizing that there's more to it and there's way more to you than you've ever been taught. Your body and your beauty has its own rhythm. I tell my daughter every day, she's talking about, I've told her since she was born, basically, she's the most beautiful girl in the world. And I tell her that every single girl and woman is beautiful in their own way. And we've really focused on that. And she tells me sometimes that some of the girls she'll be speaking to will say they don't think they're pretty or whatever. And I'm like, wow, that can even go through her mind or their minds at that young age. And we just talk about reassuring our friends they are beautiful and every girl is beautiful. And I fully believe that that's true. And I'm not talking about just aesthetically. We all have so much beauty within our hearts, especially as women. And we see the beauty all around us and we love to cultivate the beauty, not only in others, but in ourselves too. And that beauty does light up the world. And for some strange reason, some people think that it's not okay to have aesthetic goals because there's something shameful or wrong about that. There's not. It's part of celebrating your beauty, your interests, your creativity. So imagine you stop focusing on everyone else out there on social media or comparing yourself to other random people in the street, and instead you actually focused on developing and nurturing your own inner beauty. And how do you do that? It's not through doing external things. It's through listening to your divine guidance. And it's about following the intuition you have to do the things that light you up. That's what makes you beautiful. And when you start doing that, you're going to see that you have less and less time for negative thoughts, for doing things that steal your beauty. Like if you're sitting depressed, feeling terrible about how you feel you're never going to look like that, or you're never going to measure up, then you're more inclined to look for something to help you, to make you feel better, to give you that dopamine hit. And so you're going to turn to the emotional eating spiral that you've done once or twice or 3 times before. Let me know in the comments if you feel that. But what instead, if you actually turned your attention within and you started to believe in yourself, your own power, your own beauty, you started to focus on your own mission in life, your own ambitions, your own creative outlet, you will have no time to be looking at other people, to be judging, comparing, and you're going to see your life light up in a whole different way. And if you couple that with taking care of your body and treating yourself with the respect that you deserve as a goddess, because that's what you are, you're made in the image and likeness of God, so therefore you're a goddess in your own way. You have God within you. And what if you actually stopped competing for a moment and realised it's not a competition and start celebrating yourself? Competition, I see, and I'll tell you, I have a lot of competitive energy in my family, and it is so exhausting sometimes. And the fact that I totally stepped away from that energy, and I have my own, like my whole next level power behind me, because I'm like, I don't look at other people. I don't compare them. I'm not in my own bubble. I'm developing myself. I'm being the best I can be, because I know I have the wisdom to understand that everybody has a different gift. So we're all here to develop ourselves in different ways. And if I'm focusing on how I can be as good as the next person, then I'm totally abandoning my own gifts. So in my mind, I'm not here to look at other people and focus my energy on them. I'm giving that valuable energy and life force away. I'm here to focus on me and what I can do to be the very best mama, woman, wife, person, being that I can be. And that's it. And that's all my responsibility is. So I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to let me know in the comments, how would you treat your body if you already felt chosen? If you already felt worthy? If you already felt complete in yourself and amazing? How would you treat yourself? Because that's when it all changes for you. And I also want you to ask yourself, what shame, what fear, what comparison are you ready to release today? And I want to let me know in the comments, because we are going to transmute that together. Now, finally today, I want to end on focusing on the point that you need to create safety to feel good getting smaller. Now, I have commented on this before and I have made reference to this, but sometimes we actually hold on to weight because deep down, we do not feel safe letting it go. Now, there have been studies, I don't have any references for you, unfortunately, studies whereby people have been victims of abuse, have gained weight. And this is the sole this weight gain has had the sole purpose of protection, of helping the women to feel protected. Not only in the sense that this weight is almost like a shield, it's like an armor. It helps them to feel, they've got that extra layer of safety around about them. But not only that, it's also about the fact that if you speak to any person who is really overweight, who's really carrying a lot of excess weight, if you speak to them about their identity and do they feel seen, the resounding answer for many, many women is no. They almost sometimes feel invisible. They feel as though they're in the background, not a main character, not somebody who's looked at, but somebody who is going about their day feeling invisible. And this is why we cannot ever judge another human being, because everyone's on their own journey. And you will be walking down the street and you might take someone at face value and you might think, that person could do with losing a couple of pounds. But what you don't see, what you don't understand, is that that person is actually protecting themselves from their past. They're doing what they feel is best in that moment. They are keeping themselves safe. Maybe smaller, slimmer, skinnier feels exposed. Maybe confident feels unfamiliar. Maybe attention feels threatening, feels unsafe. But you actually get to rewire your nervous system to say, it's safe to be seen. It's safe to feel good in my body. It's safe to shine. And as that safety lands, the weight starts to lift. What you need to understand is that if you have it in your heart right now, that you are looking to release excess weight, excess body fat, and it's going to be healthy for you to do so, then you need to go after that, because that's part of your mission. If you want to feel lighter, healthier, if you want your body to feel like it's all running a lot smoother, if you want to feel more alive, more energized, because you're not just processing all the time, if you don't want to feel sluggish anymore, if you're ready to really clear the channels in your body, ready to receive the divine guidance and not be bogged down with, all the processed foods and stagnant energy in your body that just can't be released because you are overloading it all the time, then that's your sign to do so. But you need to make sure that you are feeling safe and that there is an essence of safety, security, and ease around about this. It's a complete paradox, the fact that the minute you just create safety yourself, and I spoke about this yesterday, the moment you create safety for yourself, the moment you actually start to tune in to what your body needs, the moment you start to get adequate rest, take care of yourself, block out all of the things in your life that are toxic to you at this point, you're going to start to see a whole transformation in yourself. It all starts from doing the inner work. And by inner work, I mean working on developing your balance, your happiness, letting go of all the things around you that feel judgmental, that feel they're dragging you down, things, just dead energy that is just blocking your happiness. The minute you create that safety, that ease in your life, you're going to start to see things shift. Couple that with personal development, working on yourself. Like I said, creating new patterns in your life, like becoming interested in different things, growing, learning new skills. All of this is going to compound, and you'll see soon when you're switching out those little micro habits that all add up. When you start to replace those old habits that are not serving you, even on the most minute level, like I said before, like swapping out your cereal bar in the afternoon for a tea, herbal tea, those things compound massively over a short time. You don't realize the impact that those types of things can have. Swapping a packet of crisps for a pear. Swapping your evening snack for another herbal tea to help settle your body and get ready to wind down at night. All of those silly little tiny things. Swapping sitting, watching something on TV for going out a 20-minute walk every day, making that your habit. All of these things, when added together, will give you a massive, huge compound effect in your life of improvement, of happiness, and of success. And sometimes it doesn't feel safe to do things that help you because you've never done them before. So it does take a bit of stepping outside your comfort zone. But you were born for this, and you can do this. So I want you to let me know in the comments one thing that you could do right now in your life to create safety so that you feel good about getting smaller. And I'm going to finish off today with a final thought, and that is, you don't need to shame yourself into your dream body. You actually get to love yourself there the whole way. When you drop the emotional weight, the judgment, the shame, the fear, the pressure, the comparison, and you just love yourself for who you are right now, way deeper down than anything aesthetic that you can see. When you drop that emotional weight, your physical weight will follow. So today, we are going to let go of judgment, fear, pressure, and we choose. We're going to choose power. We're going to choose peace. We're going to choose pleasure. We're going to choose happiness. We're going to choose joy, love, and lightness, because that is who we are. You're already worthy. And the weight was never the problem. The shame was. Now, I'm going to share with you the Manifestation Power Pack and how you can get it, because it's going to give you some very powerful tools to help manifest abundance, confidence, happiness, your biggest glow up in your life. So you can get that at mrsmanifestation.com/power, or you can get it via the link below in the description. But I want you to comment below today, what's one emotional pattern that you're choosing to release? Let me know in the comments and I will respond to you. And don't forget to subscribe for daily weight loss manifestation, motivation, feminine fitness, and energetic body sculpting. That is the series that I'm dropping right now, and I'm so excited for every single episode. So remember, beautiful, you are so worthy. You are so beautiful. Start to love yourself and you will see the huge difference that happens in a very short space of time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you in the next episode.